up, YouTube? This is Game on Cloud 9 here, and I'm here to bring you guys a new Naruto Manga 582 prediction. Now, this week, before I made this video, I actually looked at a couple different reviews on YouTube about this chapter. I know a lot of you guys didn't really exactly enjoy this chapter that much, and honestly, I enjoyed the chapter, which actually was a lot different from a lot of people, considering that last week I didn't really enjoy the chapter this much, but this week I actually did enjoy it pretty much. And the thing is, I noticed that a lot of people's problem with it is, they thought a lot of stuff was, repetitive, and mainly that there is a new eye technique that is being displayed. Now, before I really get into that, I'm just going to share what I really like about the chapter. Honestly, I liked hearing about Kabuto's backstory. I thought that getting some backstory on Kabuto was something that we really needed, because think about how long Kabuto has been around. Kabuto has been around probably besides Team 7, just as long as the other rookies have. I mean, like Rock Lee, Tenten, Neji, all of them. Kabuto was introduced around the same time as them, and for him to us not to really know much about him, to get a little bit more insight on Kabuto's character, even though we already kind of knew how he was like a spy and all that kind of stuff, we still got to see more from his perspective rather than hearing from somebody else, which is why I liked hearing a little bit about Kabuto this week. Another thing, I really liked the flashback with Toby and Sasuke this week, considering that Toby and Sasuke, I mean, even though like Sasuke seems not to trust Toby, just to even see them sitting in a bar, I guess getting a drink or whatever, which is kind of weird, because I didn't think that, I guess in the ninja world, I guess anybody can go and drink, because that's what they appeared to be, is like at a bar. But anyway, getting a drink and talking apparently, and then they overhear somebody else talking about Itachi and seeing Sasuke's reaction, even though we knew how Sasuke felt about people talking about Itachi, seeing that development earlier on, right after he found the truth out of Itachi, also, I don't know, give us a little bit more insight. I like seeing a little bit more insight of how a character developed, rather than just bam, this is what happened. Like, 1 minute, he found the truth, next minute he was angry. We saw build up in this, particular flashback. And that's what I, of course, really like to see. And the last thing, seeing Izanami. We didn't actually see Izanami, but when Itachi said he's using another eye technique, I know a lot of you guys got pissed. But honestly, and this is just my personal opinion, and I hope I'm not offending anybody who didn't like the chapter, because that's fine. If you didn't like the chapter, you didn't like seeing a new eye technique, this is not my intention, I'm just sharing my opinion. But how did a lot of you guys not expect to see Izanami? Or see a new technique, period? Because, honestly, when I look at, if you know anything about how Kishimoto writes his story, and look at how, how he implements a lot of Japanese mythology into his story, or in fact, all the Sharingan related moves, we see Amaterasu, Susanoo, Tsukuyomi, if you know the Japanese mythology, that all actually, comes from that. All they're names of different gods. And actually, I think Susanoo, Amaterasu, and Tsukuyomi in the Japanese mythology, they're supposed to be like siblings. And their father is supposed to be Izanagi. And I believe that, Izanagi, his form, I guess you could say his ex-wife, her name was Izanami. And of course, Izanami was just introduced into the chapter. And, the jutsu. And I'm in this chapter, a lot of people, again, didn't another eye technique for the Uchihas. But, to me, it was pretty much expected, honestly. Because can anyone see Sasuke in his current state taking on a Biju mode Naruto? I know a lot of you guys are saying that's irrelevant to the chapter, probably. But it's not. It really isn't, because if you looked at interviews of Kishimoto or different things, dealing with, when Kishimoto talks about how he writes Naruto, he always says when he writes about Naruto, he's thinking about Sasuke. When he's writing about Sasuke, he's thinking about Naruto. And honestly, they're probably, most likely, chances are they're going to fight. Most of us pretty much know that they are at some point. And if they do fight, Sasuke has to be able to match his power. Now, honestly, and and I want to let you guys to have a clear mind when you think about this. Can any of y'all see Sasuke in his current state, not later on, just right now, taking on a Biju mode Naruto? Not to mention that Biju mode Naruto still has to go ahead and, actually complete his Biju mode, or not complete it, but actually master it. because he still hasn't mastered it as far as his linking with Kurama. And that's why I'm like, okay, Susanoo arrows wouldn't cut it. You know, just having a developed Susanoo, I can't see that taking on a Biju mode Naruto. Biju bombs, having that amazing speed, even time manipulation by itself. Like, even if Sasuke could slow down time, is that really enough to take down a Biju mode Naruto? I think Sasuke's gonna get 2 or 3 techniques before he faces Naruto, unless Izanami can do numerous different things. You know, I really do think that's what's gonna happen. And I think it's to be expected, honestly. You know, I mean, next chapter, I really look forward to seeing, you know, what it can actually do. I'm thinking maybe, I mean, since he said it can decide destiny, you know, probably it does the reverse of Izanagi. And I actually thought that Izanami was going to make an appearance. Eventually, didn't expect it this soon. And I was thinking maybe it would do something, have to do with something like erasing somebody's existence or something like that. Probably not, seeing as though they don't want to kill Kabuto. So we'll see next week what it can actually do. But yeah, for anyone to get, you know, act like, you know, we weren't going to see a new eye technique, I'm wondering, like, okay, I mean, I feel like it was pretty much obvious they were going to see one. I expect to see, again, 2, maybe 3 techniques from Sasuke later on, you know, when he fights Naruto, because he has to be able to match his power. Sasuke has to be able to appear to be his threat. Now, I know Sasuke isn't the one using Izanami right now, but obviously he's going to end up learning it from Itachi. I don't think Itachi would be showing it off and then we don't ever see Sasuke gain anything new, because obviously Sasuke is going to have to surpass Itachi. You know, especially if he wants to stand a chance against Naruto, because honestly right now I think Naruto could take out Itachi. But overall, guys, man, I hope you guys, I know this wasn't really much of a prediction. I mean, this is more actually of a rant of, you know, as far as review. I just kind of wanted to voice my opinion as far as, you know, my thoughts, I guess, on others' thoughts about the chapter. If I were to say what I think is going to happen next chapter, obviously we're going to see a little bit of Izanami. Who knows, maybe even Madara may display Izanami as a jutsu next week, because I could just see them doing it back to back, because I'm pretty sure Madara probably knows it too, considering that, you know, he's like the master of all Uchihas, or like the strongest of all Uchihas. So maybe they'll show Itachi and Sasuke, but Itachi and Madara use it back to back and show it, you know, maybe he'll show it off against the Kages, and, you know, maybe that'll be the finisher for them, and, you know, then Itachi will mess up Kabuto, or, you know, whatever way with Izanami. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please do not forget to subscribe. You know, rate this video. If you like this video, like it. If you dislike this video, dislike it. And do not forget to subscribe if you like Naruto videos, One Piece videos, Bleach videos. And that's pretty much it, guys. So thank you for watching. See ya.